test 1. This is a flame-broiled iron chain, the kind you would find in a hardware store. And yes, he's going to touch it with his bare hands. Don't ever try this at home.
This thing is white hot.
We've all heard the phrase red hot, which sounds and is pretty darn hot. About 1450 degrees Fahrenheit, actually. But that's not hot enough for the master. So we went to white hot, 2700 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to melt stainless steel.
Can we bring the lights down just a tad bit, guys, to look at this? Look at this. Yeah, touch it with their... So how hot this actually... Ooh, look at that. This is newspaper.
Master Joe will attempt to run his bare hands across the white-hot iron chain. Repeat, never try this at home.
Focusing on. Just a little bit of soot, but no burns, it doesn't. Is there any burns on there, Doctor?
No. No, there's just some...
Can you do it one more time?
Can we see it once more?
还可以再做一次吗？
Even at this point, that iron chain is at least 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Back and forth. Nothing.
Watch that again. Placing a white-hot iron bar against his bare tongue.
Okay, here we go, right on the tongue. So you can see the steam coming out of there.
We know what you're thinking, but let's look at it again from a different angle. His tongue is really touching that red-hot bar. He's licking that slab of metal like it's a cherry popsicle.
Good. He's got full function. He's moving it. There's no blisters. There's nothing, no indication of a burn.
So far, we've performed these tests under close medical scrutiny. Our reaction? Amazement, sure. Bafflement, absolutely. And also a burning desire, no pun intended, to up the ante. So the master offered to bite a piece of hot iron in half.
Red hot metal.
That sounds like he's upping the ante. Again, very dangerous. Don't even think of trying this at home. You could do permanent damage to your mouth, lips, and tongue.
I'm ready, let's eat.
They can withstand high temperatures for very short periods of time, but prolonged contact will burn them. At times, the collator appeared somewhat pained, so that says that he was close to the limit of his heat tolerance. I'm sure you noticed that Joe's hands were shaking after he ran them across the chain several times, so had he gone any slower, he would have been burned. The highest temperature of that chain is still well below the ignition point of incendiary rounds. They would not be able to resist that much heat inside their bodies. Here's the proof that Joe is a drac. He's reverting the forked tips of his tongue here, which are much longer than the previous examples we saw. He's morphed his teeth into long, thin shapes, and there's no motion in the right frame, so there's no doubt about that one. He's clearly reverting his eyes here, as the irides have shifted into slits, the sclerae have turned greenish, and the eyeballs have increased in size. He's also reverting his nose and mouth, as you can see that the left nostril has turned out to the side. Notice how he moves his teeth side to side with his tongue, That's also shape-shifting. It may look like he's wearing dentures, but he's not. He's elongating his maxilla downward so the teeth drop below the lip. That's shape-shifting as well.
He claims he has the power to heat metal, so I've given him some aluminum foil. He says the foil must be wrapped in a paper towel to reduce risk of burning the patient. And all the materials must be doused in water to stop them from bursting into flames.
This time, Joe is going to generate a field from his hand that raises the temperature of conductive materials.
And try to find out how this is even possible. Within seconds, the temperature begins to rise to over 40 degrees higher than a normal human being should be able to generate. And continues to climb.
And it looks as though something is transferring from his hands, which are fairly normal at 91, to the towel, which is 157.
Peak 170.
I'm seeing steam not coming along.
Unbelievably, the heat becomes so intense that steam begins to rise from the towel.
Yeah, we're seeing steam in like 185, 190 from the towel. I mean, there's no way you're generating that kind of heat from just friction of rubbing your hands together.
The temperature of the foil is increasing, but the temperature of his hand is staying more or less constant. He must be putting out an electromagnetic field that affects conductors like metal and mineralized water. When you get close to a source of strong microwave radiation, you can feel it heating up your body, which is how a microwave oven works, by vibrating water molecules at 2.4 gigahertz. That's basically what's going on here. It may be the same device that's used to generate the force effect, just tuned to a different frequency, so it produces heat instead of force.
The heat's still rising, even though I replaced the water personally. Having a peak at 170, 171, 175. And I thought I had it figured it out. And when we replace the water, he can still generate heat.
And it's going higher. It's 176, and there's steam coming out of the paper towel now. You know, there's visible steam coming off of there. 160, 170.
Got a peak of 183.
Yeah.
185.
185, 190.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No.
How would you explain this?
You know, there is no Western explanation for this, Daniel.
Here's another demonstration of heat generation. He's going to burn an imprint of this coin into the glass. Obviously, he's getting up to a much higher temperature than what Joe is putting up.
Oh, shit!
What the?
Now he's going to melt glass with his bare hand. He generates an even higher temperature this time as you partially melt his coins together. Like the force effect, this could be used as a weapon, though it appears that the heat has a shorter range than the force. He's morphed the fingers of his right hand to very short lengths, except for the thumb, which is elongated. As he moves his hand, those four fingers are going to elongate, while the thumb stays about the same length. So this is the real explanation for his magic. He's a Drac using advanced technology and his supernatural abilities. He also appears to demonstrate an ability to read minds in some form of time manipulation. But that's not something I can verify through these examples. I did speak to a Drac who told me that they can read minds, and this is also part of some vampire mythologies, so it may be true.
What's this?
This must be a combination of heat and force. He heats the ball to make it malleable, and then he generates an ovoid force field around it to make it conform to that shape. That's probably what's going on here.
We just squeezed it in like this. I don't shit your doctor. It is, bro. Look.
This one also looks like heat and force. As you'd expect, the stem has a smaller diameter than it did originally, and the glass in there is probably less dense. Now you're going to see demonstration of heat removal, which turns water to ice. I've experienced something like this in person, so I know it's possible. This stream has clearly been flash frozen. That curved piece at the back would never form with water that had frozen gradually. The water droplets on the phone are also frozen in place, and some were frozen mid-air and fell. As I said, I've experienced this kind of sudden heat drain in person. I was sitting next to an individual who I now know is a Drac. My body temperature was normal until I began to feel cold on that side. After a few minutes, my arm and leg became painfully cold, and my fingers and toes started turning numb. It was fairly warm inside, yet that side of my body felt like it was exposed to freezing temperatures. She was generating an aura of cold, but from what I can remember, it didn't make the air colder, just my body. So it seems they can selectively target specific areas within that radius. They're either draining heat from the environment by drawing it into their bodies like a heat sink, or they're directly reducing the vibrational energy of the molecules. Either way, this ability must come from the same kind of technology they use to generate heat.
electrical currents in his body to the point that he could give another person a shock. He could also channel his energy in another way. He could produce fire with his naked hand.
This guy appears to burn paper without any conductive materials present. That would mean that he's using direct heat, which I suppose is possible. We know that infrared lasers can produce extremely high temperatures at the focal point, so that may be the same principle we're seeing here. I also know that they can use these devices to attack a target's nervous system, inducing biological dysfunction and ultimately heart failure. I've experienced these kinds of attacks many times. So it seems that these devices can generate a wide range of frequencies to produce different effects: force, heat, light, microwave, and psychotronic radiation. Or they're using different devices for each effect. Whatever the case, they can generate all of those field effects. In the first part, it says that his body is able to store and release electrical charge, and we'll look at those characteristics next. The last physical ability or attribute that we're going to look at is their resistance to electricity. This individual is going to get hit by tasers 3 or 4 times whenever you hear that loud pop, and then the repeated electrical shocks after that. As you'll see, he's unaffected by this for the most part, and 2 of the shots are basically point blank, so we know the needles are in his skin.
Holy crap, dude.
No one go outside. Do not go outside.
Lock the doors if anything. Holy crap, he's still going. Holy crap, dude.
And I'm drugs, everyone.
Dude, he's running. Oh my god, dude, how's this guy still standing? What the hell? Yeah, dude, someone give me a thing.
Get the screwdriver.
Holy crap, dude.
He's running.
Dude, they tased him like 3 times. Lock the door.
Lock the fucking door.
Oh, he's trying to get in his car now. Oh, shh.
That door.
He's not doing anything. Oh, get back.
Holy crap, dude.
Okay.
Oh, that's
over here now.
dude. Oh my god.
This girl is showing you what this is really about. She's reverting her right eye, which has the reptilian rectangular pupil, and the eye is too large to be human. She's also morphing her nose and cheek on that side, which have lost their human shapes and proportions. I took these screenshots with the in-loop blocking filter disabled. With it on, as you see in the video, her eyes all blurry. The guy being tasered is a drac, the officers are dracs, and the supposed employees are dracs. This is another setup situation which is meant to demonstrate their abilities, and of course, that they're not human.